Hey guys, before we get into this episode, a little bit of disclaimer here. This episode has very, very minimal editing, so all the uhs, ers, and ums are left in, as I am prepping for New York Comic Con right now and really wanted to get this episode out before New York Comic Con hit. So that's what's going on here. It's a Big Apple Comic Con review with Gabe, myself, and a little bit of Chris thrown in there for good measure. And yeah, absolutely no editing in this whatsoever. So if there's anything in here that we say that you guys don't like, well, sorry. Really, I mean, we went through Big Apple in absolute depth on this episode, and sometimes we got a little bit rough, sometimes we got a little bit cursing, sometimes we got a little bit tough, but most of what we said, if not all of what we said, was pretty damn valid in my honest opinion. But then again, it was my opinion, so of course I'm going to think that. But let us know in the forums what you all think of this episode, and hope you guys enjoy it.
Comic Timing
is a proud member
of the
Stop screwing it up.
Of the Comics Podcast Network.
Bitch. Welcome to episode 114 of Comic Timing, a comics podcast devoted to the average comic book fan from the average comic book fan. Join in as Brent Cassina, rotating panel of guests, and myself, Ian Levinstein, discuss whatever comes to mind, time after time, here on Comic Timing. No Brent this week, but we do have Gabe from Strangers with Comics to fill in for him as Ian and Gabe go in-depth on Big Apple Comic Con. Was it a disaster, or was it salvageable? Hint, the first one. Here now, Comic Timing. Hey there, folks. My name is Ian Levinstein, and welcome to episode 114 of Comic Timing. And this one's, update/review of this previous weekend, Big Apple Comic Con. And I have on with me here, no Brent, because Brent wasn't there, of course. He's down in Orlando. But I do have Mr. Gabe of Strangers with Comics and about a bunch of other stuff that whatever he feels like being on is what he does. And he was one of the few people who actually went to Big Apple, so he's on this episode. What's going on, Gabe?
Not much. I feel a little bit offended that the short episode is the one with me.
That's because you're short.
Giving my, I'm vertically challenged. It says, use the proper term. You know, we don't like being called short anymore. It's vertically challenged.
Okay, fine then. You're on the vertically challenged episode of Comic Timing. That make you feel any better?
Just a tad. This is what you would say, one more step for short people.
Oh, God. All right. Well, before we get into the episode, I'm going to put the promos and everything on here. This is a very loose episode here, guys, just so you know. I'm barely editing this. I'm going to put this out ASAP, so we'll be able to have an episode on the feed right before we go to New York Comic Con here. But this episode is indeed sponsored by New York Comic Con at nycomiccon.com. And we will be in the podcast arena this upcoming Friday and Saturday. We'll not be there Sunday. I got a previous obligation, but everybody else will still be in the podcast arena on Sunday. So make sure to stop by either way. Got some amazing, amazing talent coming to New York Comic Con this year. Stan Lee will be there. Mark Waid will be there. Obviously, Joe Quesada and all the Marvel crew is going to be there. CB Cebulski, and I know that Bendis is there, and basically anybody who's anybody in Marvel is there. DC, we got Jeff Johns definitely attending, and I believe Peter Tomasi is going to be there as well. Might even have new editor-in-chief Bob Harris there. Can't confirm that, but I'm sure he'll probably be around for the DC Nation stuff and stuff. And definitely Jim Lee, because I know that this is his home away from home. But the list goes on and on. I mean, I can't even list off the top of my head all the things that are going to be going on this weekend at New York Comic Con. However, make sure to definitely stop by. What's up?
No, go ahead, finish this because I got a question for you.
Yeah, sure. But
it's New York Comic Con related.
Okay, cool. Well, let me just let people know we're going to be in booth 524 in the podcast arena, so make sure to stop on by for that. And on Friday, we will be at the New York Comic Con podcasting panel, the first ever podcasting panel in the history of New York Comic Con is going to be happening this weekend. So make sure to look for it on the schedule. I believe it's listed as the comic book geek and blogging panel, podcasting and blogging panel. And Chris Niesman of formerly of Around Comics and 11 O'Clock Comics is going to be on the panel. Peter Rios of Comic Geek Speak. We got Daryl from Everything. We got. I mean, come on! I didn't even really need to name how many shows Daryl's on because he's on like 17 of them. And we've got Johnny M of Legion of Dudes on the panel, as well as Sean and Jim of Raging Bullets, and there'll be a ton more podcasters there to ask questions to and hopefully get feedback on. So make sure to be there 6:30 on Friday. Let me get the room up for you guys if I can bring it up right here on Facebook. As usual, I am not prepared like I should be, but I will bring it up right now.
You just blame it on me.
Yeah. That's fine. That works. All right, yeah, we are. Let's see. Okay, I'm in the wrong comic timing. Damn thing. Hold on here. I'm gonna have to get rid of this comic timing group so I stop accidentally bringing it up when I want to access by freaking Facebook. All right,
Take two.
all right, but yeah, we will be, here we go, room 1A17 on Friday, October 8th. So make sure to go to 1A17 Friday at 6:30 for the podcasting panel. And I believe at 4:45 on Friday, I may be taking place on the Anime Parliament panel as well, as I like to help out my buddy Adam Hennessy with that panel. So even if I'm not there, make sure to check that out. The Anime Parliament panel and the New York Anime Fest portion of New York Comic Con is going to be pretty damn cool. So nycomiccon.com for all your details. What question did you have, man?
What guys are you most interested in seeing in Artist Alley? Like, you know, we got the Jamals, we got the names everybody know, but like, are there any guys that, you know, aren't household names that you're like, yeah, I can't wait to get this sketch from this guy I know, from et cetera, et cetera?
Well, I only have one sketch pre-ordered, so I'm going to mention J.K. Woodward. Because even though some people might know who he is, he's still a little bit on the DL. You know what I mean? Because I mean he's done Fallen Angel with Peter David, and he's done a couple of Marvel and DC works here and there. But not that many people know his name right now, and they should, because this man's putting out amazing work, and he's doing full watercolor sketches for $30. Yeah.
Son of a gun.
I know. I'm getting myself in an Invincible in space, floating in space, full watercolor, full scene, not just a head sketch for $30, and it's letter paper sized. So this is gonna go right up on my wall, no question about it, man. I'm definitely looking forward to him. It'll be nice to see Gail Simone again. I mean, I know that. I mean, I'm not really like answering your question here. I'm more saying people I'm looking forward to. But I mean, really, like what I love doing at New York Comic Con is just really going through the Artist Alley and seeing if I could find new faces. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not really gonna know until I'm really there who really sticks out as like the up and comers. But I'm looking forward to it. And hey, if anybody who's listening to this wants to be interviewed on Friday or Saturday, stop by the Comic Timing booth. We're going to have a full setup there with the mics and everything and the laptop. And I'll have my H2 on me also if you want me to rather stop by your booth. And yeah, we're just going to be roaming around and having a good time. So that's the best way to describe it. So cannot wait for that. You looking forward to anybody?
Yeah, man. I've been looking for this all what, year and a half now?
Yeah. Well,
and it sucks though. I'm in my current situation, but like, I can't wait for this weekend to get like some sense of like, yeah, this is what a con should be like.
Oh hell yeah, no question. Yeah, I mean, is there anybody in particular that you're looking forward to?
Well, you know, us having done this for like what we've been doing this like 3 years so far.
Yeah.
You and me.
Yeah.
We made some friends. Like one of my guy I consider a really good friend is Danny Fickle.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not a really household name. He has worked on some household licensed property.
Mm-hmm.
He worked on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that last cartoon reincarnation. He
Right.
works on the Venture Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So he's always a guy very, very in the hearts of George Perez realism.
Oh, cool.
So he's always a good guy. I always have fun just hanging out at his table.
Mm-hmm.
Meeting up with everybody from the podcast alley.
Oh yeah.
You know, I don't visit forums that often, so I know everybody's like, "You're still alive?" Yeah, and I still podcast every week too. You know?
Surprise, surprise.
You know, it's like if you guys want to know about me, just go on the website, strangersdreamcomics.com. Free plug.
Yeah, come on. What? You're definitely allowed free plugs. When I go on to other people's shows, I'm plugging like mad.
They have to put you by the wall socket. Like, just plug it in. Plug it in, damn it.
Exactly. Yeah, but it's gonna be amazing. I mean, I've been almost antsy about this because it's been so long since there's been one.
It
Because
just feels weird. It's like, oh wait, I forgot how to do a comic book convention.
well, I mean, at least I had C2E2. You know,
You did.
yeah, because I mean that was a great way to really fill that gap because C2E2 is everything I love about New York Comic Con. Only it's in Chicago.
Well, it's the same company.
Well, right, yeah, and that's what's great about it is that they've really gotten the whole Comic Con thing down pat, and even better. I mean, you know that I'm not just into comic books. I'm into anime also, and I mean they're combining my two worlds here. I mean that's great.
It's like a geekasm for you, isn't it?
Oh, no question. Yeah, because I mean, all the guys that I would normally be seeing at Anime Fest, I'm going to be able to be seeing on top of the guys that I normally see at the Comic Con. So, I mean, this is exactly what MegaCon always is for me when I go down there. Is that it's both the anime crowd and the comic book crowd in one, and it's only the only difference is that I don't have to pay for a hotel room. I get to take the Q train.
I get to be home.
Exactly, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for it, man. It's going to be great times. Yeah, and before we actually go into the main episode, I know we did one plug. Let's do the other one. Make sure to head to dcbservice.com for all of your discount comic book service needs. Our picks for this month are as follows. We got the Green Lantern, and I know that you're definitely going to be picking this one up. The Green Lantern Larfleeze Christmas Special, written by Jeff Johns, art by Brett Booth, cover by Gene Ha. 50% off on DCBS for $1.99. And come on, how could you not pick up a Larfleeze Christmas Special?
Or as I call him, Gonzo.
Exactly. I mean, it's a guy who's obsessed with greed, and it's Christmas. I mean, enough said, really. I mean, this is going to be so much fun. I can't wait for it. And, Jeff Johns, again, he really doesn't steer me wrong too often, so this should be a lot of fun. Heroes for Hire #1, written by Abnett and Lanning, penciled by Brad Walker. The Return of Heroes for Hire, and the first really non-cosmic book that Abnett and Lanning have written for Marvel in a while. 50% off for $1.99, regular price of $3.99, so that should be really, really cool. And Doc Macabre, I believe that's how you pronounce it, or Doc Macabre, if you want to pronounce the full word. But Doc Macabre, written by Steve Niles, with art and colors by Bernie Wrightson. Freaking Bernie Wrightson on this shit right here, okay? Issue 1 of 3. It's a horror comic. I figure it's close enough to Halloween and stuff like that we should really add something like that onto our list here, and that's what we're going to be doing. 50% off, $1.99, regular price of $3.99. So that is our independent pick out of IDW, Steve Niles and Bernie Wrightson on Doc Macabre. And make sure to use the promo code CT8 to get an additional 8% off on your first order with DCBS. DCBService.com, we thank you so much for the support for Comic Timing, and I hope everybody there is going to be enjoying their upcoming con season once it's time for 2011 to roll around, and because this is really the end of the con season. New York Comic Con.
Yeah, and it's a late ending to it on top of it.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what's so weird about having it in October is that, like, I mean, the next show for me after this is, I don't know, what is the next show? I guess in March.
Big Apple?
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
no, I'm not doing Big Apple again. I mean, we'll get into that. I'm not doing Big Apple again after this one, man. But no, I think in March I'm going to be doing, which isn't even a Comic Con. I'm going to be doing PAX East, which should be pretty cool over in Boston.
The video game stuff?
Yeah. Well, it's not just video games too. It's tabletop games and card games. And...
Yeah, I've recently started a career as a podcast producer.
Oh yeah.
So I'm working with a group called Chocolate Lemon. They do Geek Fist and Champ Mountain, and they've done the PAX East and they've done PAX West.
Oh,
so
very cool.
Hopefully, I might get up there with them. But I know those events are kind of tricky, I think, press pass wise. They only give them like a specific amount.
They do, yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna pay for it because this is one of those cons that I'm certainly happy to pay for because it's only like, I mean, it's not that much for a weekend. It's like $40-$50, something like that.
Not that bad.
Yeah. So I mean, as long
it's
as
not E3.
Right, exactly. As long as you pre-order, you're okay. And well, not even just E3. It's not like it's San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
You could definitely get in, especially because they're at a new location this year. They changed to the Boston Convention Center as opposed to where they were, the Heinz, and that's the biggest convention center in Massachusetts.
Look at them moving on up. Mm-hmm. Everybody's getting bigger and better.
Yeah, I know, especially New York Comic Con, except for the guys that we're going to be talking about in this episode. And that
Two
is
steps forward and 8 steps back.
all right. So Big Apple Comic Con, you guys heard us talk about it last year. It was at the Pier. What was it? Pier 95, I think.
I think 4.
94. Okay, Pier 94, over by the water. A little bit of a pain in the ass to get to, but about the same amount of pain in the ass to get to as the Javits, right?
Yeah, it was. More or less.
Not that much of a difference there. And you know, if you could say one thing about it, it was wide open. The lighting was decent, although it could have been better. And there were actual guests. You know, I mean, they had a decent amount of people there. The thing is, they didn't have crowds, at least not on Friday when I went.
Let me see, if I recall correctly, my last year I enjoyed myself.
Mm-hmm.
I never even got to see the full con.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was so much to do, and you know, there being so many people there, you kind of had to like pick your spots.
Right.
And like I don't even remember going to the trade bins.
Yeah, see,
I don't even remember like hitting up the game people, because I think Nintendo was there. I never even got to them.
Yeah, see, it's funny because it was the complete opposite for me last year, because I immediately went towards those bins because I had never seen deals that good. Like, I mean, at all the conventions that I went to, because when I went there on Friday, it was a ghost town. I mean, there was nobody there. And this was late in the day, too. This was like 5.
I'm trying to remember. I don't even think I
o'clock.
went to Friday last year.
Well, that's probably why, because
I had work.
Okay, all right, yeah, because we actually, I mean, this was back when Chris and I still worked in the same place, so we literally just got out of work and then immediately went over, and Raph met us there afterwards, and we wound up just going across the floor and everything, and I think that was the day that that was the day that they announced that they were going to be the same weekend as New York Comic Con this year, which of course didn't happen, but I know that that Daryl was there and a couple of other guys were there, and we wound up talking about it afterwards. But I remember walking in, seeing nobody, immediately going to a dealer, and guy had a complete run of Young Justice just sitting there.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got like 50 issues of Young Justice for $45. You know,
yeah,
it was amazing. I mean, all the deals that I got there were great because people were clamoring for business. They were going to give you anything on the cheap, and that's what I actually appreciated about the con, is that there were a lot of dealers, it was wide open, and there were still a decent amount of guests there. But what did they have last year that they didn't have this year?
Well, last year they did have the advantage of being the last con of the year.
Right, and there was no New York Comic Con last year.
There wasn't. Well, it had already happened. It had happened in like March, or April, if I'm not mistaken.
That's pretty damn close to not happening for a year.
Yeah. So like they were their own competition. So like I would say you would have gotten those deals because this is all material that these dealers had been sitting on throughout the course of the whole con season.
Right.
So it's October. I gotta get rid of this stuff now. So I'm going to give you a good discount only because I need to get rid of this stuff now because I don't want to sit on it until March.
Right. Yeah.
And they got that going for them. They had a nice open space out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was nice unless you were in Artist Alley and someone had to go back there and bring something in from the back because, the backyard is the ocean.
Yeah. and it was a little bit dangerous when it came to crossing the street around there, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I remember that it's right by the highway, and it's a light that doesn't change very often. So there was a little bit of a danger of getting your ass run over.
See, if they were smart, they would have just done a convention. Van.
Yeah.
Van runs.
Mm-hmm.
Where they'll pick you up from the train station.
Right, which is what New York Comic Con does with those buses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of other cons do that too.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, San Diego does it with their bus routes. C2E2 did it. I mean, I took a bus directly from my hotel to C2E2 at least 2 times while we were there.
And Super Show does it with the bus to the comic book store, don't they?
Yeah, no. Super Show doesn't have it. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, they gave us maps to how to get to the spot.
Yeah, that's what they did. Yeah, because they didn't have the dough to be able to do something like that. But, maybe eventually. I mean, if CGS winds up getting enough people.
Re-budget.
Yeah. So here we are with this year, and again, originally they decided that they were going to be the weekend of New York Comic Con, which I'm sure you agreed with was a freaking stupid idea.
Now, one thing I do have to say is, considering what their decision was about the date,
Yeah.
there was a sense of excitement around the con.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, look, they're getting more money than Michael Corbo was able to pump into it. They got a bigger venue.
Yeah.
They got bigger, better. A lot of people liked it
Mm-hmm.
until that snafu about releasing the date. Had that was a major, like, that sucked the air out. Like, you can tell I think they announced it on Saturday.
Yeah.
You can tell on Sunday that everybody there had the wind knocked out of them.
They announced it on Friday because we only went to Friday.
I didn't. All right.
Yeah.
So for like the rest of that event, like, you can see people looks like they had that look like, fuck, what am I gonna do now?
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure the dealers were thinking the same thing because when given a choice between the Javits in a wide open, area with Anime Fest happening in the same location, and you've constantly got foot traffic, you've constantly got a new flow of people coming in and out, while with Big Apple, you never know. I mean, obviously, you're going to choose the Javits unless for some reason you can't get in.
Yeah, and the one thing I started hearing that the Grabbles last year that happened again this year,
Uh-huh.
the way they managed guests.
Mm-hmm.
James O'Barr, who was the creator of The Crow,
Yeah.
was there, and I was able to have a nice, good conversation with the guy. I didn't interview him because I didn't want to, like, hey, thanks. Hey, by the way, can we do an interview real quick?
Yeah,
'Cause
right.
He's never done an interview before.
Sure.
He started complaining to me about, like, listen, the only way I go to cons is if people, pay for my ride.
Mm-hmm.
And they promised me, they promised me everything, free board, free travel.
Mm-hmm.
They waited till the week of the con to confirm his flight.
Jeez.
So, like, I'm just like, what? He's like, yeah, I've been on my website telling people in New York that I was coming. All my fans in New York couldn't wait to see me, blah, 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 talk to me. And here I am sitting in Texas, and they hadn't even settled the flight for me yet.
That's
The
not right.
same week of.
That's not right.
And I'm just like, you're fucking James O'Barr. You're like one of the names they put up when they were trying to promote the show. Like, how does this happen?
What happens is that you don't have your head on straight.
It feels like you're putting this shit together in the last minute.
Right. Yeah. And which is absolute crap because they had a year for this.
Yeah. There should be no excuse because the last con under the Mike Carbros thing happened like in the beginning of the summer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're ready. So if you weren't ready for it, why would you plan it for October when you're not ready for something?
Yeah, and you can't even say that, oh, well, they needed to change the dates and, there was a scramble, yada, 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 because they changed the dates 6 months ago. People didn't notice that. A lot of people didn't even notice that they changed the dates because they sort of did it on the DL. I think, in my opinion, so that they wouldn't, admit defeat.
They didn't want egg on their face, basically, and this was going on here.
Right.
Which they have anyway.
Yeah, because they go from the pier back to Penn Plaza, which is definitely a step downward because after this weekend, I am fully in the camp. Tear that shit down because that place is a mess.
It's not that it's a mess. It's that they mismanaged the location.
No. It's not just that. It's not just that. The Penn Plaza itself, okay? Pennsylvania Hotel itself is in shambles. Okay?
Well, it's no hotel, yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, there were stories on the beat and elsewhere about creators that were put up in the hotel that were afraid to put their suitcases on the floor because they didn't want to get bed bugs because it was that grungy. Yeah. I mean, like, it was the sort of situation that you would get if you were staying in that hotel near 42nd Street that was in Jumper. The one that you go to as an absolute last resort. That's what the Penn Plaza Hotel looked like to these people. And this is a hotel across the street from Madison Square Garden.
Well,
prime real estate.
The garden is not. Let's not make the garden out to be what it used to be.
Dude, Dude.
The Knicks are not running the Garden anymore.
Doesn't matter that the Knicks aren't running the Garden, okay? They still get the concerts, they still get the boxing, they still get the wrestling, they still get all the events at Madison Square Garden. So it doesn't matter that the Knicks and the Rangers might not be what they used to be. As long as the events are still happening there, the Garden is still the Garden.
But isn't this a microcosm of New York? Isn't this discussion right now the microcosm of New York? It's all hype. Once you pull down the curtain, you're just like, ew, this shit's nasty.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't quite say that, because what this is more of a microcosm of is that this is Veronato Realty trying to make it go to ruin so that they'd be able to tear the shit down and make something nicer.
That'd be pretty hard. Especially when something like Penn Plaza, well, whatever. I would say that, but we got a new Yankee Stadium.
Right.
And I would consider Yankee Stadium a historical landmark.
Yeah, no, exactly. And the Pennsylvania Hotel is not a landmark. It has not been landmarked. It is a historic hotel, but it is yet to be landmarked. And again, in the disrepair that I saw it in, this place needs to go away, because the pavilion itself, the lighting is terrible. The air is stale. There's very little places to maneuver. The floor looked grungy and uncleaned. It looked like a mess.
And that's just the bathroom.
And how about that dungeon they had the artists in?
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that.
Oh my god!
It looked like I was walking into a Law and Order episode.
Yeah.
And you know when they had to go to, when they're like always this scumbag. It's more like SVU when they're picking up the slum bag from like the slummy hotel.
Yeah.
It felt like that cage where that guy is always in.
Right. Yeah, that's totally what. Well, it looked like a hallway that definitely used to be a hallway that you were not able to access. You know.
And they just pulled that shit together at the last minute.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, like, once upon a time, that was where, the workers brought shit into the hotel and they turned it into a ballroom.
Not even that. That's where they used to let the employees scour and fight each other for breakfast.
Yeah, probably. I mean, especially with those bathrooms.
Yeah, I didn't even bother going to the bathroom this year.
I walked into the bathroom and there's still like 3 feet of hallway until you actually find a bathroom.
Did you see like a little kid going, "Sir, can I have more porridge?"
More?
More?
Yeah. I mean, let's go into the show itself, okay? Because yeah, we're talking about the venue and everything, but so I get upstairs, and okay.
Well, not even you need to backtrack.
All right.
How the hell did you get in?
Okay. Well, see that was problem number one. Okay, because we walk in and there aren't signs telling you where to go to registration. There are volunteers holding signs telling you to go to registration.
And this is a situation where we're accustomed to always, when you come in, registration is always on the left, on the first floor.
Oh, okay. So that's been the case previously. Okay.
Yeah, where the wrestlers were on the right hand side, that's always been the registration.
Okay. All right. See again. This is my first Penn Pavilion show.
Okay.
So I don't know that, but when we come across stuff like that, please point it out to me, because I want to know that for certain here. So they point us in one direction, they point us in another, and we see a sign pointing outside, and immediately me, Chris, and our friend David, who happened to be at the show with us, it was his birthday, whatever, we wanted to do something with him, yada yada yada. We're shocked, because like right away, I mean, why even make us go into the hotel if we first got to go back outside? So we double back. We go back to the sign.
Did you get straight directions?
Well, first
I got like 3 different directions.
First, we asked him, "Are we supposed to go outside?" And he said, "Yeah, then go towards the green awnings." And we're like, "Okay." So we go outside. We go towards the green awnings. We wind up at what used to be Amazing Savings.
That's what that was? Okay.
Yeah. That was Amazing Savings for years. It was something else in the interim, but that definitely used to be Amazing Savings. And it's actually a nice space, but it definitely used to be a store, and it's vacant. I mean, it had that feel to it, but that's where they had the gaming. That's where they had a couple of other things, and that's where they had registration. So we go in. Chris and I do press. David gets his, pays his $35 for one day.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. What's the deal with that?
It never used to be that expensive.
I thought
Now,
so.
I think last year was like the first time there was a huge price jump, but I would have, we're pressed, we don't have to pay for stuff.
Yeah.
But I can understand that being at the pier.
Right.
Being at the Penn Plaza,
Wasn't that
it's always, the tickets always, I never used to get press passes in the past.
Yeah.
Last year was the first time I actually got a press pass.
Okay.
Because of the situation.
Right.
And I was like, these tickets should be like $15.
Yeah, weren't they 25 last year?
I think that was the most expensive they've ever been at.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, $35 for a day. There are some anime cons that charge $35 for the full weekend, and there's more programming and there's more stuff to do. So, I mean, it's highway robbery. I mean, I'm shocked that the people I was with actually bothered to pay it because it certainly wasn't worth the $35. I mean, 20 I'd understand. 20 I'd be
20
willing
I
to
could have
pay.
lived with.
Right.
If I was to pay for something, I could have lived with 20.
Yeah, but 35.
Think of it this way: my brother went with his wife. That's
Okay.
2 people.
Oh, God.
For one day.
Paying $70.
Yeah.
Jeez, man, that's more than a weekend pass at New York Comic Con. All right, but anyway, we get in there, we deal with the press and everything, and they give us the wristbands.
Which felt you only had to wear it for one day. I felt so slummy and dirty having to walk around with a plastic wristband for 3 days for 3 days in a row.
I can imagine. Yeah, I mean Jimmy of CNI was doing the same thing, where he asked them, so what you're telling me is that I'm gonna have to wear this all weekend if I want to come back? And they said, well, worst comes to worst, if you need to take it off, keep it with you and show it to us, and we'll give you another one. But we can only give you another one if you show us the previous one.
I felt so, and I understand. There are some shady people in the business. I can't say all podcasters are cool.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who pass around badges.
Yeah, but that's gonna happen at any con.
Yeah. My wrist felt dirty in it, and like by Sunday, I kept on looking at my wrist and scratching, and like it felt like no matter how much I clean, I can't get that junk off of me.
Well, and the guy put it on too tight for me, so even if I wanted to, I wouldn't have been able to take it off. Chris was able to take hers off because hers was actually loose enough where she was able to just take it off her wrist.
Yeah, I was able to do the same thing with mine.
Yeah, I mean, I had to cut mine. There was no way in hell that it was going to get off any other way. But so we get that, and mind you, when I was press at Philly, at Wizard World Philly 2 years ago, there were badges.
Yeah,
and last
I think it's
year,
the first time they've done the wristband.
Yeah, Big Apple Comic Con also. The last year there were badges, but whatever. So we get done with that. We go back inside, and first we're confused on where the hell to go after that because there weren't clear signs as to where to go for the escalator to go up to the Penn Plaza.
And three entrances. Let's not forget about the fact you can go from the Penn Hotel entrance, you can go from the side from the main rotating door entrance, or you can actually go in from the side in the hotel.
Yeah, that's not cool.
I would consider that a safety hazard if I might add.
Oh, totally. Yeah. All right. So in previous years, what was the setup? What was the setup for the dealers, the artists, and so on and so forth? Enlighten me.
Not including the final Mike Carbo Big Apple Comic Con, which was like it was a free one. I want to say it was like one day. This was like right before he sold it to, or right after they announced that it got sold to Big Apple.
Right.
Actually, it was like right after they announced it got sold to Wizard. He threw one final Summer Slam. It was like 1 day free, and that was on the 16th floor or something like that.
Okay.
And that was a big open space. Typically, first floor you walk in, revolving door. There's no side door.
Mm-hmm.
The side door will be if you need to go to the ATM.
Right.
And registration's on the right. So it would be very easy for them to go to that whole big space that they had, where it was just like 3/4 of the room was taken over by gamers, and like 5 people. It would be like 2 people behind the table going name, checking you off, and giving you either your wristband or your badge.
Mm-hmm.
And then that whole first floor tended to be celebrities.
Okay.
And then you would go up the escalators. What you saw there was usually the setup with the trade guys and the vendors and the Silver Age vendors,
Mm-hmm.
but Artist Alley got majorly screwed this year.
Yes.
Our boy Javier, who's a friend I met at Big Apple like two or 3 years ago, I kept in contact. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah,
If you ever at Big Apple,
yeah,
get a sketch.
we hung out last year actually. Raph introduced me.
Yeah, I introduced him to Raph.
Okay, cool.
It's all 5 stages from Gabe. Forget Kevin Bacon. And what usually happens is last year was a good year for Javier.
Mm-hmm.
He made a lot of prints, a lot of money, a lot of sketches at last year's Big Apple.
Good.
Because guess why?
There was a big space and people were easily finding him.
And he was right next to Adam Hughes.
Oh, great.
This year, they put all non-printed artists
Uh-huh.
on the floor by themselves with no one even knowing where they are.
Yeah.
Where all the, like, let's say, printed major artists were in the basement by the dungeon.
Yeah. Dude, Rodney Ramos, okay? Rodney Ramos
Was up with the non-printed guys.
Yeah, I know, but fucking Rodney Ramos or Ramos, however you want to pronounce it, I always
Ramos.
screw it up. It's Ramos, okay? Who I've met a couple times, who is a inker extraordinaire. The guy inked Transmetropolitan, okay? And you're sticking him in a corner where nobody can find him.
Yeah. By the non-printed guys.
Yeah.
So in other words, you're considering him on the same level as a guy who's never done any printed artwork. I mean, any printed material.
Yeah, which is absolute bullshit.
And I'm just like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, wait a minute. And of course, none of these guys made any money.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
there was even like a gap in Artist Alley where you could have fit 4 or 5 more tables and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Like, Artist Alley used to be crammed with people trying to get, and like, you thought that was a good thing. If you're a guy, if you're Javier, and your table is next to, who would be like a typical guy?
Joe Matt.
Let's say, yeah, or Bob Tucci. Bob Tucci's almost always there.
Billy Tucci.
Billy Tucci, sorry. He's almost always there.
Yeah.
Tucci always gets a lot of people coming towards his table.
Mm-hmm.
If Javier was 2 tables down, he would have people automatically stopping at his table because they were so packed in front of Billy's table
Right.
that they would stop and look at his stuff and be like, oh, I like your stuff. Can you make me a commission? Can I get some prints? Yada, yada, yada.
Right.
Nothing for these guys.
Ugh.
They were basically left there to, savage on their own.
Yeah.
There were times you walked up there and there was no one in that part of Artist Alley.
Totally.
And the messed up thing is they called the basement Artist Alley, and then why, if that's Artist Alley, do you have these guys upstairs by themselves?
It made no sense to me at all. And downstairs, that quote-unquote artist alley, there were less than 20 people. There were less than 20 artists down there. It was...
And not everybody stayed the whole time.
Yeah, I know. Look, when I went down into that... And you know what? I'll talk about this now so we can just talk about the main room and all that. When we went down into that Dungeon of Doom, okay, there were maybe... I'd be stretching it if I were saying that there were 30 fans down there talking to people. And
A lot of people didn't know about it.
a lot of people didn't know about it, and there were maybe 15 of those 30 online for Rob Liefeld. Okay? And on the table, because this was after Mark Miller had already left and Lionel Francis Yu had left because they were only there for a limited time, there's Jim Shooter shuffling his papers because he's got nothing else to do. I felt bad for the guy. I mean, I'm not that big a Jim Shooter fan myself, but I respect the guy, for the history he's had in comic books itself. I know that Marvel today would not be what it is if not for Jim Shooter.
Nor would Legion of Superheroes.
Nor would Legion of Superheroes, nor would a lot of comic books, nor would Valiant, so on and so forth. I mean, there was Greg Horn. Greg Horn had his full setup with him, and there was nothing. Mike McCone sitting there with nobody. Mike McCone, okay? Current artist of an Avengers book.
You want to know another name? Levitz. Nothing.
Oh, God.
Paul Levitz was sitting there. And
I didn't even know Levitz was there.
Levitz was there.
Oh.
I know him. I know him physically. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But he's always. I've always seen him. And I've always been like mad intimidated by him.
Right.
I don't know why.
Yeah. Joe Mad's over in the corner.
And I'm just. And knowing what I know now, I would have hit up all these people for interviews Saturday.
No doubt.
I left Saturday early because I had like I wanted to see my girlfriend,
Uh-huh.
and it was like, hey, I came to Sunday. Let me check. Let me check on Lovitz. I get there, completely empty. Half the people didn't even show up on Saturday.
Jeez.
I mean on Sunday.
Yeah.
It was only like a couple like people who decided to stay and what's his name, Millar. And that was it. Everybody in Artist Alley at that point was there to online waiting for Millar.
How much you want to bet that half the people that were there, except for Mark Miller, because I know he signed an exclusive with Wizard and all that shit, but how much you want to bet that half of them were there because they came in a week early for New York?
Or they live in the area.
Yeah, or they live in the area. Because I know Mike McCone lives in the area because he does a couple Brooklyn shows. But you know, and there were plenty of New Yorkers that would normally be at Big Apple that didn't bother to show up.
Yeah.
You know,
well, the problem is in New York, it carried in the past. It's been this thing where it's a situation. Well, I don't want to go to Big Apple. It's all about the celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who can they get this year to be at Big Apple?
Yeah,
and that's understandable. But you know, I've interviewed Mike Carbro, who used to run the con before Wizard bought it out,
mm-hmm.
and his ideology was, "I'm making this for everybody."
Right.
You know, he started off as he's basically a businessman. He does comic book collecting, and I saw him wheeling and dealing upstairs. Like you seen Pawn Stars on History Channel?
Yeah. I
seen him try and pull some of that stuff on people. I was like, damn. He's like, yeah, I'll give you this for $2,000. I'm like, oh, damn, that's some real money he's talking about. That's not like $3, you know, Superman still in the plastic bag. He's talking about like $2,000 books. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But his ideology was like, he's making this for everybody. He started off in New York when no one was doing a convention here,
mm-hmm.
when it was still in the church basement.
Right.
He brought it up, bringing people out. You know, so what? It's Justin Gray. She still has fans in New York.
Right.
So what? He's bringing all these old. So what? He got Virgil there. People like Virgil.
Jim the Anvil Neidhart, yeah.
Jim the Anvil. Well, he looked like he got too many tans.
Oh man, no. The most depressing thing was at the Philly I went to, seeing Hammer Valentine.
Oh, he was there. Oh,
dude, he has not aged well.
You used to like, damn, son, you don't need to hit the tanning bed every day.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even that. I mean, like, his muscles were hanging off of his body. I mean, this was a guy who looked like you could tell he used to weigh 350 and now was like 150. It did not look right at all, and I felt bad for the guy. I mean, I'm sure he probably got plenty of autographs. He sold plenty of autographs in Philly, but I was staying away from him. I was going
and you also
the opposite
gotta
direction.
Remember, these guys are former celebrities.
Yeah,
this is stuff that they need
mm-hmm.
to survive.
Yeah, and then there's guys like Adam West that
American culture icons,
right? That Wizard still managed to get because they're Wizard.
Yeah,
and I mean, did Adam West ever used to go to Big Apple back when it was just Big Apple?
He's been there a couple of times.
Okay, all right.
Followed by Adam Wee.
Okay. Because I know that both Adam West and Burt Orr were there this year, I think.
Yeah, they were. I think it was the first time I remember them being together.
Well, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, like last year I remember him talking like he wanted to do like rare things where it'd be like some cast together. Like at one point he was trying to get the whole cast of the Warriors together.
Okay. And
that kind of almost happened. I think he was like one Warrior short.
Ah, that's a shame.
Yeah. And like he'd do like stuff like, oh, he's trying to get all the Freddys together. He's trying to get the whole cast of Freddy 6 together. Stuff like that.
Yeah. And he doesn't have anything to do with the con at all now? Or is he still in an administrative level?
You can tell it's a differently run con than when he was doing it.
Okay.
Like I saw him more running around trying to do business and trying to talk to people, than, which is what he always did. But I don't see him doing. He just doesn't seem that lively anymore, and he's doing his own one-day con now. In the summertime.
Okay.
he had one this year where he said it straight up. This one's, I was like, so how is this different than the Big Apple? He's like, it's one day, and this is all for dealers and vendors and stuff like that.
Is it still called Big Apple?
No, Mike Harbo's something.
Okay, all right. So he is no longer associated with Big Apple. So even when they do their April show, that's not his.
I want to say he's probably there just voicing opinions.
All right.
But this, I forget the guy's name who runs the Wizard Cons. He doesn't listen to people.
Seamus.
Chance.
Yeah.
I've heard that from other people there too.
Yeah. No, Gareb Sheamus is all about Gareb Sheamus.
Yeah.
I mean, it went to his head years ago, and it still hasn't come back.
And it's a sad thing. This is all Wizard has left. Period.
Right. Because I mean, come on, Wizard. I mean, I didn't even know this until. Yes, I admit I should have known this years ago, but I mean, Chris told me a few days ago that Wizard started out as a comic shop. I knew that they were a magazine like sort of like a store circular before they were Wizard.
That
magazine.
makes sense.
Right.
They probably started off as a fanzine.
That's exact. Well, not even a fanzine. It was the circular for the store. That's what Wizard magazine was originally, and the usual crowd of the store liked it so much they decided to go further with it, and then it became Wizard magazine.
I wonder if even back then they were doing top 20s.
I don't know. They might have been, but yeah, and eventually that became the Wizard quote unquote empire that we have today. And Gareb Sheamus, bought himself a frickin' museum and all that jazz. But
the one thing that's weirded me out is like last year when they were laying people off because they couldn't, their sales had dropped so badly, they were buying more and more cons.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, which said that this is how Gareb was going to make his money. He was going to make these small cons with dealers and a couple of washed up guests and make bank. And I don't know how many people attended this year's Big Apple. I don't know if we'll ever know, because I'm sure that they're going to put out numbers saying, "Oh, this was better than ever," and that yada yada yada. Because everybody always lies about their numbers.
Yeah. The one that Mike Harbo threw like 3 years ago, I remember it was a Sunday where he had like Hayden Panettiere is like the landmark Big Apple. Like he had like 3 floors. That's how big it was. This felt like the worst con I've ever been at in my life.
Yeah, this is definitely up there.
King's Con did better than this con did.
Damn.
And King's Con was, and I've interviewed the lady. She threw this together. She threw King's Con like in a matter of a few months.
That was the one that was at the Lyceum, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
On a Prospect, I think, in Prospect Park.
Yeah.
Fifth Avenue.
Yeah. That's the one that I wanted to go to, but
you missed a hell of a show.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, I'm gonna go to this year's.
I think it's 4 days this year.
Really? Wow. That's
yeah.
Nice.
It's announced. You can go on their website.
Okay.
I think they're going for 4 days this year.
Very cool.
But she pulled together something amazing, like in a span of a few months, that this guy had a whole year to bank on.
Damn. Well, let me go over it a little bit, because again, once you got upstairs, immediately you were met by these very, very loud and obnoxious people that were looking to get you to sign up for their door prize.
Can you tell your story?
I'm damn right I'm gonna tell my story, but. So yeah, so they're like, oh yeah, congratulations! Come here, sign up for the door prize and win a free trip to Orlando and
Universal Studios.
Universal Studios, it's great, it's fantastic. And they had multiple people in multiple locations at the con. They had this really old Russian guy at the other side of the con trying to sell you the same damn thing, okay? Which was a little shady to say the least, okay? But both Chris and I enter thinking, what's the worst that can happen, okay?
And this was a door prize, so shouldn't there only be like one winner?
Technically so. So I get a phone call at work on Monday from a very over-enthusiastic man in Orlando telling me that I won. And I'm like, okay. He's like, oh, you don't sound very excited. Come on, let me hear you perk up. And I'm like, all right, fine, I'll play your game. Yeah, wow, terrific. That's great. Yay. And he starts telling me the extent of what I won. A 2-week vacation to Orlando where my room will be paid for and I will have free meals. And then over to Fort Lauderdale I'll go and enjoy this and that, and Daytona Beach, and there's a cruise, and yada, yada, yada. Oh, by the way, you pay for your travel to all of these locations, and there's a fee for $241 for the first person and the second person. But the other two are free. So by the end, it would have cost me about $1,000, maybe more than that. And that's not free.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
You got that call on Monday.
Yeah.
My friend Gabe
Yeah.
got that call on Sunday.
Oh, bloody hell.
And guess who got that call today?
You?
Yeah.
What'd you tell him?
I know you're a scam. Sorry, I don't want to. I don't. As soon as she said, "I know you're a scam," I heard it click. I was like,
See, and I got farther than I really should have, because I got to the point where I was like, all right, I'll do the 241 yada yada, and I eventually backed out. So if there's still a 241 charge on my credit card as of like, the end of the week, I'm calling up my credit card and I'm telling them to cancel the charge, because they said that the charge would automatically be canceled. I'll check my card at the end of the week, but yeah, they called up Chris, and
when did she get the call?
she got the call later in the day on Monday.
Are you supposed to be one winner?
Yeah, no shit. That's how it's supposed to happen. Yeah, and she goes, "Yeah, I know your deal already. Yeah, I know you're a scam." And then she's like, "Oh, well, we're actually not a scam." Yeah, I'm sorry, and then hang up. And I think I'm gonna have to check with my friend David to see if he also got the call, because I think he also signed up. So we'll see.
This is what I understand, right?
Yeah.
If you're Wizard, shouldn't you be monitoring this stuff to make sure none of your guests are getting scammed?
And that's what the people on the phone said. That's what the guy on the phone said. He said, "Oh, well, sir, you know that we have to be reputable. After all, Comic-Con wouldn't let us in otherwise." And that's when I knew something was really up. Because when he said, he kept saying Comic-Con, 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 never adding the Big Apple before
Yeah.
it. This is a guy who has absolutely no idea where they were on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
This is a guy who got passed by this list of names and told to call every one of them.
Yeah, exactly. It's a telemarketing scam. That's exactly what it is, man. And
And here we got Wizard letting this shit go on.
yeah, and I got farther along than I should have. At least I backed out before I let them charge my card or anything like that. But yeah, that's what's going on immediately when you walk in. So we went to the left first. Okay, so that we hit the back of the other room, which had a couple of trade bins and.
Wait, you talking about the $10 trade guy?
Yeah. I think.
Okay, you want to get mad at me?
Yeah.
When I got there Sunday,
Yeah.
they were $5.
Of course they were.
Picked up Extremis and the Matt Fraction Omnibus for $5 each.
You whore.
Your mother, Trebek.
Well, I actually wound up with a couple of good things, and I'm gonna try and put some positive in here, because I did get some good deals. Okay, I got the Marvel Strange Tales, which just came out.
Yeah, that one I gotta call you son of a bitch on.
Yeah, I got that one for I think $10. It might have even been cheaper, and that retails for at least $25. So that was good. I was happy to see that there. I had a couple of creases here and there, but you know what? Who cares? It's a booth, and I'm getting it. Chris got 2 for the price of 1 on the Invincible Ultimate Editions.
Oh, the hardcovers?
Yeah, the hardcovers, yeah. So she got volumes 1 and 2 of that, so that collects the first 8 trades, I believe.
More or less, either 8 or 6.
Something like that, yeah. And so we've got those 2 now. I got... and I'll actually, you know what? Let me get to those later. So yeah, so we're in that side, and it's not that horrible. It's a little bit cramped, and actually, no, more than a little bit cramped. It's really, really cramped. The aisle size was pathetic.
Oh, that's been their motto. They've because there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
Given that space there, and there being so many columns, and the middle of the a freight elevator, whatever those is. Because you remember where that used to be, right?
What?
That used to be Modell's.
Oh, really?
That used to be a sporting goods store.
Oh, well, that explains a lot.
I'm trying to remember what it was, but it was either Sports Authority or Modell's. It was a sporting goods store.
Okay. All right. Well, either way, it doesn't really matter that we know what the layout was. So yeah. But yeah. So we walk around a little bit, and we get a couple of good deals and all that shit. But shockingly enough, the place with the best deals the entire weekend were Midtown Comics.
Really?
Yeah. Midtown Comics had a booth that was selling 50-cent comics
Oh, okay.
that were selling, I believe, $5, if not $10 trades.
It was $5.
Okay, yeah, $5 trades, and they were selling incredibly discounted hardcovers and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I know I went through that stuff. Nothing caught my eye, but my friend Gabe spent like a good $30 or $40 with them.
Well, Chris found about 5 or 6 issues of Air that she needed, so she got that. I got issues 2 and 3 of Marvel Boy the Uranium, the Uranian. So now I just need issue 1, which hopefully I'll be able to get at New York Comic Con. And I also got issue 1 of the Gorilla Man series, which is good because I didn't have that before. And a couple of other things here. I got a one of the DC 1 millions that I didn't have.
Ooh, which one?
The one with all the kids.
The Young Justice one?
No, not Young Justice. This one was just like it was like DC Young Heroes or something like that. Again, it wasn't Young
strange.
Justice. It was like all kids from DC 1 million.
Probably maybe no, I don't even think they had a DC Junior line back then, but that's a strange one.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe it's cool. Good job.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Oh yeah. Actually, my score of the con. I wound up with finally. I have myself the Justice League Unlimited figures with Amanda Waller.
The Wall.
Yep. And the Colonel.
I bet you not for nothing. As soon as you brought in the Amanda Water into your room, all the other DC Justice figures stood up straight.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, look at you like, motherfucker, now we can't play around.
I passed on it for $15 at C2E2, and this time it was 20, and I'm like, I don't care. I need it now before I never see it again.
Yeah. Next time you see it's on eBay for 40.
Yeah, exactly. So I got that, and Chris got a couple of other things, and David got a couple of things. But, it was decent. It was decent, but there were not nearly as many dealers as there were last year. Not even close.
Yeah, because of course the space was limited. I got some swag if you want me to brag.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I got the Iron Man Extremis,
Good.
the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen Black Dossier.
Yeah, how much?
I'm gonna give you the total price of everything I spent.
Okay.
The Stings of the Widow, the Black Widow story.
Mm-hmm.
The Incredible Iron Man Omnibus, Howard Chaykin's American Flag Volume 1, and the Mice Templar, The Prophecy, Volume 1 hardcover. Everything I bought was hardcover.
Mm-hmm.
I spent $25.
Damn. Nice. Well, I think I spent 40, if not 45, and that's only because I had Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Traditionally, this has always been a good con for deals.
Yeah. Except
If you think about it, he started it off as a dealer con.
yeah. Except
So,
for that one motherfucker that was trying to sell True Blood issue 1 for $15 a piece.
He must not be a smart businessman.
Oh my god. This guy, it was the guy in the very, very corner, like past the Midtown booth.
Oh, against the wall, or
Against the wall. Yeah. By
he was
the
not giving any deals.
Yeah, by the picture taker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that just he's getting a bad flashback. The Hubby Chubbies. Yeah.
Bad touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that guy. I mean, like, I took a look at that, and immediately I was just okay. I'm going in the opposite direction.
Yeah, some people give discounts and try to get rid of merchandise at cons.
Yeah,
Some people still try to sell things at cover price at cons.
yeah, that was
And not make money.
that was pretty awful. Yeah, but here's where the negatives come in. Okay.
Chubby Hubbies.
Not even talking about that. Oh, and actually, before I do negatives, it was very amusing to see that Mile High Comics had a very, very small booth next to Midtown.
Yeah, that was kind of strange. And they didn't even have a sign. They had like a bag.
It was the founder of Mile High Comics. I shit you not.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it was the founder of Mile High Comics. He apparently does Big Apple like a lot. And he said that business is genuinely down for Mile High right now.
Grr.
Yeah. I mean, not that I really care because they've been, giving quote-unquote discounts on their comics for years. Making things look like that they're 35% off when in reality they're the regular price. But that's what they do.
They don't need to know that. We know that.
But yeah, here's my negatives, okay? Number one, and the biggest negative out of anything at the convention, the bootlegs.
Okay, I don't have that many problems with bootlegs because Big Apple for me has always been the spot to get bootleg.
No. That's okay. But there's one thing if you're doing bootleg DVDs of shit that's already out. I mean, sorry, shit that isn't out, like shit that's not available.
Yeah.
But when you're selling ROMs of SNES,
oh, the emulators, yeah, that's a fairly new thing.
What the fuck, man? I mean, any other convention, they're kicked out on their ass.
Well, and I remember last year, like one of the things was like Wizard didn't want any bootleggers, so there wasn't going to be any more bootlegging. Well, pirating or whatever they want to call it. You wouldn't be able to get your Batman Adam West TV series over there anymore.
Right.
And that guy that was always there, who was there this year, has been at every Big Apple Con I've known. I've seen him a couple of times at New York Comic Con, but only for like the Friday.
Which guy?
The guy with the dreadlocks.
Wait, guy with the dreadlocks. Is this the one that I had the problem with? The guy who was smoking?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this fucker. Okay.
Yeah, he's been. I've seen him. Like he would go to New York Comic Con for like one day, and that'll be a Friday. You never see him again.
Mm-hmm.
And like the table he was at was always have somebody else there the next 2 days.
Yeah, and I'll bitch about him now because, all right, you're selling your bootlegs, whatever, okay? But when you hide behind a false wall, okay, in a closed space and light up your cigarette and do a horrible job of hiding it, okay, you're breaking the law, number one, even farther than your bootlegs are doing. Because there certainly is no smoking in an event hall, any event hall in New York.
Well, there's no smoking in New York, period.
Well, yeah.
In any enclosed area, yeah.
Right. That's what I mean. And this is an event hall. And even worse than that, you're in an event hall with comic books. Okay? Every single thing that sells on eBay says right on it, stored in a non-smoking facility. Because the smell of smoke, it doesn't even matter how little there is, but even that small smoke will seep into the paper and will be there, either staining the paper or you'll smell that for the rest of the time that you have it. Okay,
well,
so
you can obviously tell he wasn't a collector.
I know he wasn't a collector, but he's ruining. He has the potential of ruining the product of his fellow dealers. Okay,
and it didn't help that he was, I don't know what he was doing, but he was always at that next person's table talking to somebody, and there were comic books there.
Yeah. So, and we were gonna go get somebody to complain about it. We were gonna go get somebody who works
There's
for
no one to watch.
Big Apple, but there was nobody on the floor.
No
volunteers. They were all downstairs holding the registration signs.
Because you know what? Who wants to volunteer for Big Apple?
Well, yeah.
Like, this weekend was kind of nice for, an October weekend.
Yeah.
Who wants to be there when they could have... And I bet you a lot of people were trying to volunteer for the New York Comic Con.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't even bother, putting their shit together to volunteer for this one.
Yeah. Oh, and I like the bootlegger that had his sign saying, "We cannot sell you fan films."
Yeah, but if you buy a certain amount of movies, we'll give you the fan film.
Yeah. And of course, what's he selling? Bootlegs.
Yeah.
So that's where his morals lie. He'll easily sell bootlegs of old television shows, but he won't sell you fan films.
Yeah, he's not gonna send nothing and get him. No, because there's still copyright laws. He's breaking the bootleg anyway. Yeah. It's,
I couldn't help but crack up, really. And this was the same guy who was selling copies of Spider-Man the Animated and Batman and X-Men the Animated when X-Men the Animated is entirely out on DVD now.
yeah, it is.
And Spider-Man the Animated I know is in the pipeline to come out.
Well, if you're lucky and you have an account with Amazon UK, you can probably get it that way.
Well, right, yeah.
Because in UK they've had those.
But it won't be our region either way.
Well, I have a PS3. PS3s are region free.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Some things are region free.
Right.
What I was gonna say, and I loved how it was. I'm trying to remember. He was the same guy who was selling Photoshop pictures.
Yes. I was gonna bring that guy up. Yeah.
Of like Megan Fox, like in a Supergirl outfit, where you can obviously see that this person was like someone who had the Supergirl outfit painted on her. And it wasn't Megan Fox.
And the Avengers Photoshop that he did,
Yeah.
where it had like the Hulk from the first Hulk movie, some random cosplayer in a Hawkeye outfit, some random cosplayer in a Wasp outfit, and then he takes like composite shots of everything else, like the promo art for Captain America and the promo art for Thor, and he even had a Thor picture that was absolute Photoshop next to a real picture from the Thor movie.
And there was a Cap Chris Evans shot that I was like, ew.
Yeah, I know.
Like who did this Photoshop? The guys from Image.
Yeah, and I guarantee you the fucker was selling.
God, I hope not.
Yeah, well, I mean, any little kid that goes by and says, "Ooh, Avengers," is gonna want to buy it. But if I was a parent, I tell my kid, "Don't worry, the real convention's next weekend."
And you get to go in free on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because if they're doing it like they did last year
They are.
was like they are. So kids going free on Sunday.
Yeah, kids going free on Sunday, just like they did at C2E2, just like they always do at every Reed Convention Center.
Beat that, son.
Yeah.
Beat that.
Yeah. I mean, and I didn't even bother with any of the panels because I didn't see anything that appealed to me. They were all about shows or about people. They weren't actually about topics, and I like panels about topics.
There were a couple I was interested in. I think the Sonny Nash, when I was interested in, and like I was just gonna go to conventions to a couple of those just to not be on the floor.
Yeah.
But it completely like passed my mind. I didn't even pay attention.
They didn't even get the gold ballroom either.
They didn't.
No. You and you want to know what got that instead?
What?
The Newlywed Game.
That's more bullshit.
We even wound up like on the floor because we thought it was that day. It wasn't even that day. It was some other day or whatever. Because we had two people with us that were about to get married in a couple of weeks anyway. So we figured, for shits and giggles, we'd go upstairs and see what happened. And this really rude and obnoxious security guard says, "Can't you read?" Well, meanwhile, all the signs just say, "Auditions this way." So yeah, we can read. You can't print.
New York's public school education at its best.
Exactly. So, and I mean, to finish out the floor, I mean, mixed in with all these bootleggers and stuff, there was no rhyme or reason to the floor plan whatsoever. I mean,
no, because they kept the traditional. Those guys in the middle were always no. They always used to be like guys selling Silver Age, like what would be Mike Carbo's specialty, the collector's items.
Mm-hmm.
They were always in that middle part.
Yeah.
Not there this year. They were actually to the side. Like, this show was like a spot for like finding rare and mint condition stuff, and that stuff was not there to be seen.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder that either Wizard doesn't believe that anybody wants to buy the really expensive stuff, or that these guys didn't feel like this was worth their time.
Yeah. I mean, apparently, they were great in comics all weekend, but I didn't see the booth.
But it wasn't the same people who used to do it in the past.
Okay.
What was CGI? CGC, they weren't there. It was somebody else doing it.
They weren't. Okay, because press releases came out saying that CGC was going to be there. So
I think it was like Beckett or something.
Okay, so either they must have backed out then.
Yeah, it was another people doing grading, and these were people I've never seen before.
Okay, all right. Oh, and how about that guy who yelled at us for standing in front of his booth?
Yeah, I pay rent here.
Yeah. And those were his exact words. I mean, it would have been one thing had he simply said to us, "You're blocking the aisle. Can you please move?" Like a normal human being.
Yeah.
But it's
like, guys, can you bring us over because you're kind of blocking the traffic here? I would have seen that one.
Yeah. But instead, hey, guys, move. Come on, I'm paying rent here. I mean, what?
And that's a sign to me that he was truly aggravated and frustrated.
Well, this is a guy who, I mean, Chris has seen this guy before. This guy's always rude.
Oh, okay. So he just needs a hug.
Yeah, he needs some hugging and some loving.
Let's hug it out, man. Next time we'll hug it out. Don't yell at us. I'm a lovable guy. I will hug you.
Yeah. So
just no naughty touching.
So
that costs extra.
So I'll ask you a question before I run in the other room real quick and get Chris in here and have her thoughts real quick, and then we'll end it up. Is there any reason at all to continue holding this event in New York? Because we have New York Comic Con once a year. It's going to be the same time every year now from now on. It's going to be this time in October, along with Anime Fest. We've got the Brooklyn shows. We've got Mocha.
Well, the Brooklyn shows are not going to be. I think they should have been coming up soon. November, I think.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, was the original date when I saw it.
Yeah.
Announced for this year.
Yeah, because they were in November last year. Again, that's why I couldn't make it. I was in Seattle at the time.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, is there a reason for Big Apple to still exist? And if there is, how does Wizard shape this to actually be relevant?
He's gonna drive it to the ground.
Yeah.
And it's either Mike or somebody else will probably snatch it back up and take it off their hands. But Mike doing what he's doing, his own one-day event now, talking about he only really wants, and I feel sympathy for him and the other gentleman. The other gentleman I never got to meet. He was always walking around bald-headed with glasses. You probably know who I mean when you see him running around.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, damn, man, these guys brought this shit up from when it was, like, a church basement convention. Like, you ever watch these movies when they talk about, like, oh, and these are the conventions that they held in church basements where Will Eisner.
Oh, yeah.
And that was him.
Wow.
He started working in convention and dealing when he was 16.
Yeah, well, I mean, Big Apple itself used to be in a church basement.
Yeah, and, like, to see him bring it up to this high, to sell it to somebody else and seeing it drag down, and he's older now. It's not like he can put the same energy and strength and excitement that he could when he was younger.
Yeah.
Homeboy's like, he's silver top. He gotta be like in his 60s, 50s.
You know what it is? It's like watching your child that had straight A's all the way through high school go to college and become a crack whore.
go to community and decide to become a nursing assistant.
Yeah.
I got my degree in medical billing, Dad. What do you want?
Yeah. And I know I was very harsh just now with that statement, but you know what? It's kind of how I feel. It might have been the wrong set of words there, but in essence, he's taken something that could have been good. Because
that has a legacy behind it on top of that.
Right, because Big Apple was first. No matter what you say about New York Comic Con, Big Apple was first.
And there always used to be the sense of camaraderie between Big Apple and New York. Mm-hmm. New York always had a booth at Big Apple.
Yes.
And vice versa, where Mike Harbro always had his dealer booth at New York.
Yeah, I remember 2008. He was giving out, flyers and everything, and at New York Comic Con, very friendly. And then the minute that Wizard took over, They kicked out New York Comic Con, and
with security.
yeah, with security, and there was no relationship to be found. It was no, you're the competition, get out.
Competition is good.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine, like, say for example, if the DC guys went over to the Marvel offices once they finished their move in a few weeks, if they were to go over to the offices with donuts, congratulating them on the move, and were thrown out, could you imagine that? I could never see that happen.
It sounds like I'm in high school and the jocks like I'm watching Glee.
Yeah.
And someone just threw a slushie into the Captain Marvel guy, the guy who does all the Captain Marvel stuff. Like they threw it in his face.
Yeah, which, by the way, would never actually happen at a high school, which pisses me the hell off about that show. Because if anybody who throws a slushie in somebody's face, that's actually considered assault, and they would have been suspended. And
especially in today's non-bully age, yeah.
Oh yeah, they would have been suspended and thrown out of school years ago.
But in my high school, we used to sing and dance about everything.
I went to Murrow, dude. Enough said.
So you guys were constantly having, like, instead of having gang fights in the back, you guys would dance it off.
Yeah, it was like West Side Story all over the place. Yeah. Snap. See, I would snap, but I can't.
I deserve to be in this gang. I spent 4 years at ballet school.
Oh, really?
No, but I'm just saying.
See, I could picture you as that, though.
Oh, you dirty, dirty little boy.
So,
yes?
So in conclusion, they have no space. They have no fit anymore in this landscape.
Not exclusively anymore. Mark Ribot's doing his one-day thing. That probably will take off.
Mm-hmm.
The King's Con, I can see that taking off because she caters to the Mocha crowd.
Yeah, because they're not doing it at the Lyceum this year. They're going to a better place. I don't know. I don't know the details of where it is. Oh, I know. Well, no, because the Lyceum's a piece of shit.
It is, but I kind of like the feeling of it.
Yeah.
It felt different.
Yeah, well, it is different because I'm sure you've never been there before.
Yeah, I've never been there before.
Right.
She's gonna cater to the Mocha crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not get that many, big crowds. Big name Marvel DC people there, but she did get Fred Valente.
Yeah, and McCone.
So, yeah, and a lot of professionals live in Brooklyn, which is kind of strange.
Oh, yeah. Gee, thanks.
No, I'm in Brooklyn too. I was like, damn, Jamal is in DJ? In Brooklyn? I was like, fuck.
No, but it makes sense because that's the cheaper place to live when compared to Manhattan, and you're less than 45 minutes away from the city. So
she's gonna rattle in a lot of people who miss Mocha.
Mm-hmm.
Mocha's gonna be Mocha.
Yeah,
Mocha's probably just continue. I like to see Mocha figure out what they want to do space wise.
Mm-hmm.
Because that pier kind of feels weird at times.
Yeah.
But then again, it works for them. It works for them.
What I think Big Apple Comic Con needs to do is, well, first off, find a better place to hold it.
Get rid of that guy and let Carbo and the other guys take it back.
Okay, but even if they don't, if for some reason they do not, okay, you got two options to move this place to, okay? And here's option number one. And it should be where they held it in the first place. Why is this convention not in the Manhattan Center?
I'm trying to remember them or the Hammerstein. Yeah.
No, not the Hammerstein. The Manhattan Center.
Across a couple of blocks down across the street from the movie theater, right?
Yeah.
I've never been inside.
I went there for a GDGT.com event a couple of months back, and their main ballroom that they were having this event in is about the size of what you had in Penn Plaza, only more open, and you'd probably be able to put everything on the same floor.
Damn, that sounds. I don't know. Yeah. Why these things that for us, maybe they just don't have New York people there.
Maybe.
Then we need to look at the people who are running this thing and say, because I don't even think whatever his name is a New Yorker.
Well, he's not. He's not. No, Gareb Sheamus is not in New York right
So
now.
what? He doesn't know what a prime real estate is.
No, but
all he knows is that he needs to go against the Javits.
Right, but he has actually. Wait, no, hold on. Never mind. I'm backing that up. I'm stupid for even suggesting that. Wizards headquarters are in New City, upstate New York. So that's completely strike that from the record. He is a New Yorker, just not New York City, but New York State.
Yeah, but upstate is completely different than the city.
Right, but he's New City is like less than a half hour away from Manhattan.
Yeah, but it's still not the same thing.
No, I get you. It's just I'm saying it's easy for him to get back in. That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
But the other option would be MSG, not the main Madison Square Garden, but there's plenty of space.
No, they've done. I've gone on there for like outlet conventions,
Right.
and that makes sense. You can do it on the floor and have it be circular.
Yeah, and the final option, and it's something that I know they don't want to do because this is New Jersey, not New York, and I don't know where they're having the New Jersey Comic Con yet because that's not even official when that's going to be happening. But the Meadowlands Expo Center.
Now, some places that they could look at. I was gonna say, when the Nets move in, they're gonna have that, that arena there. But
Yeah, but that's going to be 4 years down the road.
well, if we're lucky, 4 years.
Yeah, because I mean they broke ground, but it's not even close to being built yet, and they're supposed to be in there in 2012, which is absolute bullshit.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. What I'll say is that along with the new venue, they have to choose a different time of year. Okay, because wherever Reed goes, Reed will dominate. And they've chosen October as their month, meaning you stay the hell away from October. If you're a smart businessman, you do not try to compete with a show. I mean, yeah, you're going to be able to get, the hype, and you're even going to get some idiots that think that this is the actual New York Comic Con. Because, it's in Manhattan, it's got to be New York Comic Con, and they go to Big Apple and they're severely disappointed, they never go back.
Yeah.
But I would definitely move it to at least either July or June or anywhere in that early
they're in May
portion of the
next
year.
year.
Okay, well they're in May next year, but that's one of two. They're still going to have their second event
Why do they have to have two events?
because they're Big Apple. They're Big Apple, and they want to keep with that for some stupid reason. So
Yeah, but at one point he was doing 4, and then he ended up going down to 2 for a reason.
yeah, I know.
The economy can't sustain 4 cons in New York.
I know. Even August, man. Even August or September, you could definitely manage it, but do not do October. It's stupid. It's stupid to hold it so close to New York Comic Con. They learned their lesson. They chickened out on the verses because that would have failed even worse.
Oh God, they would have.
People would have been going in just to laugh. I wouldn't have even bothered with a press pass. I'll tell you that much. I wouldn't have even touched this convention because I'd be spending my entire time hanging out. And that's another thing with the Penn Plaza Pavilion. It is not a hangout location. Okay, I could not socialize with people at that location.
The things were too narrow to even talk to somebody.
Yeah, as we learned.
Well, we got yelled at. We didn't get learned.
Well-
you don't learn things. We get yelled at.
Well, that's true. But still, that when I go to conventions, I usually go because I want to see my friends.
And sad as it might sound, for a lot of us, this is the only time. These are the only times we're able to get together in the
Right.
same spot, same location.
Right. Yeah, and when do we do it? We do it at the big ones.
We all go have dinner together.
Right.
Whether it be and all go to after parties together. Like me and Daryl got home at 3:00 last year from Saturday. We went to 4 different after parties.
Nice. Yeah.
I
This year, sadly, that can't be me because I don't even know if I'm even going to go to one after party because I got a pack for Sunday. But I don't know. I'll see. Well, that and I'll have all my stuff with me.
No, what you gotta do is Sunday you just wear all the clothes that you're gonna wear for the week, like a little party.
Uh-huh.
the wedding, you put them all out at once. Just bring the bag in your hand. Let it be empty. So when you get to the hotel room, just take everything off and put it in the thing. So you don't even have to worry about packing.
Oh, God, you're horrible. Not gonna fucking happen. Oh dear. But yeah, just no. I mean, when giving it an out of 5 rating, this gets like barely a 1. I mean, it's just because I bought stuff and I'm happy that I bought stuff that I did, doesn't make it a good con. And it's just there was an utter feeling of dreariness and sadness at Big Apple that I would never want to repeat.
And the sad thing is, we didn't pay for this.
No, that.
God forbid we did.
Yeah.
Fuck, get out of here.
I mean, I almost had to. I mean, I almost forgot to do the press, and I don't think I would have wound up paying $35 for it. I'll say that.
Funny thing is, I paid for that. I sent in for my press pass like on Monday.
Oh dear.
And they sent me an email today saying that, oh, I noticed you got a press pass from us. Can you please let us know what articles you're putting on?
Yeah,
about Big Apple, and I'm like,
they sent that to me as well, and I'm gonna send them a link to this podcast because I think they need to hear it.
Oh yeah,
they need to hear it. I mean, I'm not afraid to have my opinions out there, especially when it's something that I didn't enjoy, and I did not enjoy this convention in the slightest. And I'm gonna bring up to them also in the course of the email the severe problems such as the bootlegs and the smoking and all that, because that's stuff that can easily be fixed at least. Okay, but the rest of it, that's not something that I don't even think they're going to be able to fix for next year.
When the big movie premiere that's going on at your convention is a Human Centipede, you got issues.
Oh God, I mean, yeah, they had Miller and they had Final Fantasy U. That's great.
But they were in Artist Alley in the basement.
They were in Artist Alley in the basement, and they were there for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
You know?
But if you didn't know that they were in the basement, and you put them in the main floor, where it says, the guys who created, from the mind that created Kick-Ass and Wanted.
And Superior.
Well, Mark Millar presents Superior.
Right. Yeah,
but no.
I mean, they even had, con-exclusive merchandise, which they were out of by the time that we got there, too, and it was still Saturday. But, yeah. All right. I'm gonna go grab Chris real quick so she can get her opinions if she wants to, and then we'll end this up here. So give me 1 second.
All right, listeners. While Ian gets his wifey, I'll be dancing. Hope you enjoy my dance. It's interpretive dancing. And so ends my interpretive dance.
All right, and here's Chris real quick with her thoughts on this dreaded thing. Well, I mean, you said that if I wanted to, bring you in for a little bit, I could. I mean, just give me your quick thoughts on Big Apple.
I'd say for only 2 guys and a really shitty show, you've been in here for like 2 hours.
There's a lot of man love going on. Hope you don't get jealous, though.
Oh, I'm never jealous. I love the man love.
Just as long as you get to watch her.
I don't want to watch. I want to join in.
Oh.
Oh. See, now I got to remember what the hell I was saying to Ian. I had some brilliant thoughts about how shitty this thing was.
And so brings my great ideas about shit.
Smell the sadness in the air.
Well, I think for starter, I don't know, you guys covered it, but the Hotel Pennsylvania is like this historic hotel. It's supposed to have like the oldest phone number in Manhattan. I wrote all this stuff in my blog post. And yet you walk in there and you think, fuck, they need to tear this shit down. I mean, seriously, I have never seen like a sadder building, and then just having like this sad con that's not even a convention. It's just like a freaking flea market. Just inside of it. Just, oh God, that was sad. So sad. I'm sorry, I didn't have anything brilliant to say.
No. Well, actually, the flea market thing is a good thing.
That's pretty brilliant, yeah.
That's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah. Yeah, now I gotta think, because Ian's totally put me on the spot. I thought it was odd that there weren't a lot of back issue sellers. I guess they're all saving their stock for next week. And I mean, it was mostly trade paperbacks and, of course, the toy guys, which I didn't think they were too horribly priced, which actually kind of surprised me. But, I mean, it was just the typical sleaze. Oh, I feel I feel dirty talking about it.
Well, there was like a trail of slime coming from some of these dealers.
You think?
Yes.
You mentioned the guy who snapped at you?
Yeah.
Yes, we did. No, because you said you've seen him before, right?
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, I went to a Big Apple back in 1998, and I remember browsing one of the booths, and I saw like these ViewMaster discs, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool. How much are they?" And the guy was like $30, and I was like, "Buy," and the guy's like, "Yeah, buy." Like he just snapped right back, and I'm like, "That's not mature. That's completely uncalled for." I'm like $30. I saw it looked like the same guy. Like he looked familiar, and he still had like I swear it was probably the same merchandise from 10 years ago, sitting in this little lonely box on his table.
Well, it's hard to sell when you have the personality of a newt.
Yeah, they were so sketchy. Did you mention the guy who bought the booth from somebody else?
I completely forgot to.
What?
No, I went up to one of the few back issue dealers in there, and the guy was selling off titles for was like $1 an issue. And I'm trying to collect all of Connor Hawk Green Arrow. So I'm like, hey, this guy's like talking to somebody else about some religious revelation he had. Like apparently
while reading comic books?
No, he wasn't reading.
Okay.
I don't know what he did, but now apparently he like contributes to charity and he does stuff with like homeless people and like street kids. And he's just talking about this with some other guy. And I'm just like, wow, this is almost like a deep and meaningful conversation. But I have to ask, sir, do you have any Green Arrow comics? And he's like, I have to interrupt him, and he's just like, well, actually, I bought this booth off of somebody else, so I have no idea what I have here. I was just like, wow.
So he bought booth and merchandise wow.
Yeah, he just bought the whole thing lock, stock, and barrel. I can't really think of what scenario would have led to that. Maybe somebody who is going to be at New York Comic Con, but also have like 2 booths. I mean, I don't know how this world works.
Well, I mean, the only other scenario that I can actually think of here is that it was a guy that was so strapped for cash that he had to sell absolutely everything that he had, and he knew he wasn't going to make his money back on Big Apple because
so he found
it was taking place in the Penn Plaza Pavilion.
I don't know, maybe that, but I'm just thinking that, it could easily just be someone thinking that, oh, shows in New York will make a crap load of money if I can only get in on this business, and he found somebody maybe who was moving out of the city. I mean, that's always a possibility. Nobody wants to move that much paper, material. It costs a fortune. Great reason not to relocate to Seattle.
Yay!
Ian would not have survived Seattle because there's no way he could ship all this crap back and forth across the country.
I smell road trip. I smell road trip.
Yeah, he said he smells road trip. Oh, if I ever buy a car, I'm totally like stenciling like Green Lantern symbols on it. We'll give it some stupid name like the Green Machine.
All right. Well, we were saying before that, like, is there even a reason for Big Apple to still exist in the city with the Brooklyn shows and with New York Comic Con and all these other things? Does it even have a niche market anymore in New York?
It's kind of a weird. Big Apple's been around for a long, long time, and the only reason Wizard bought them is because Garrett Shamus has gone crazy. He's desperate to stay in the business because Wizard magazine, we know it's going to be dead soon. Considering how many publications have shut down, nobody reads Wizard for news anymore. You don't read magazines for news; you read it for features. And Wizard, they stopped doing good features like 10 years ago. And I'll say that Wizard, yes, used to have good features. I kept all my old ones from the 90s back when they actually still gave a crap. But, in terms of whether or not Big Apple still matters, I don't know. It's weird. Like, I remember I was reading something, I don't know if it was The Beat or one of the other, like, blogs that covers a lot of indie stuff. Somebody was talking about how SPX was, like, a big deal when it started back in the 90s because there weren't a lot of shows that catered to the small press. And now everybody caters to the small press. There's, like, a show every other week, and you look at even the New York area, we have King Con, we have the Brooklyn Comic and Graphics Festival. We have, of course, Mocha Fest. And, you know, I mean, New York Comic Con has its space. So I don't know if Big Apple really it never, but then again, it never really was a comics convention. Again, I've only been to 3 total now. And the one I went to back in '98 was just, oh, here's a room with a bunch of comics. And I bought I did buy a lot of good stuff. I got the Magic limited series from like the mid 80s, you know, when Ileana became, you know, a preteen, you know, because, you know, she lived in limbo and she was tortured and everything sucked and Storm was evil. It was good. But I got that for like $1, which was great. And it only cost $6 to get in back then. I don't even know what they were thinking, charging $35. That's not even what the website says. The website says $30. It's like they tacked on another $5 between the website and when you actually walk in the door.
It's a non-shipping and handling fee.
Yeah, well, it probably is a difference between pre-order and non, but they didn't bother to actually.
No. The website said save $5, you know, register online and pay $25, thus implying that at-door price would have been $30. So, Ian, sorry to say.
Well, that just makes me even more angry.
That's some Scott Steiner math right there.
That costs more. I mean, isn't that about the same or more than New York Comic Con? I mean, what's the Saturday rate for New York Comic Con? Ian's going to look that up right now. 40. He says 40. I mean, but you get, of course, a lot more with New York Comic Con because there's actual programming. It's not just Nicholas Brandon and the chick who played Glory up on a stage bullshitting for an hour.
Yeah, and this isn't just, you know, because I'm being sponsored by New York Comic Con or anything like that, okay? This is because it's frickin' true, okay? Saturday only pass is $45. Friday only pass is $40. Sunday only pass is $40. Weekend pass is $65.
That's probably what they thought they could get away with $35 for Big Apple. But again, there's programming at New York Comic Con. There's not really programming. I mean, even though they might have a Mark Millar panel with View, but I mean that's not the same as the fact that like you can go to New York Comic Con and there's going to be stuff about like new movies and there's going to be that great Unbreakable panel with Shalalalaman. Shalalalalalala. I kind of want to go to that.
Well, too bad we can't.
I like the movie. I just hate Shalaman.
We can. It's on Sunday.
I know.
And plus, you know, it's not like they're going to be premiering Walking Dead.
You heard him?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ian heard that one at least. Yeah, I don't really know how to feel at this point. It's just there's just so much sketch level, and I mean it's just kind of embarrassing for Wizard. I mean it looks terrible for Wizard. And again, I don't understand why they have to use that particular venue. That also tells me they don't know crap about Manhattan. There's plenty of places they could have gone besides the pier.
Yeah, well, I brought up the Manhattan Center, for one, would certainly be a nicer place to have it.
Well, I don't even know why they didn't do, like I said, inside the Madison Square Garden. I've been to a show in there. I went there like 7 years ago with Mike, and we saw Lou Ferrigno.
Ooh la la.
Yeah.
You know this convention was so bad when Lou Ferrigno doesn't even show up.
That is pretty awful. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, anything else to add, Chris? Are you good?
Yeah. Here my
Gum.
It's good gum. It
Thank.
hasn't lost its flavor yet.
Well, that's good. That's good. This is the stuff we got for free, right?
Yes. Oh, actually, I was thinking that.
Okay.
Oh, no, wait. I have my intelligent thought now. It finally came back to me.
Yay!
The power of the gum.
About the gum, yeah.
Yeah, the gum, it was getting that flavor out of it that actually reminded me. Basically that... Okay, now we're going to get all pretentious and snotty here. You know, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. That... You know, people think of comics as superheroes and science fiction, and it belongs to this very particular subset of pop culture. And, I mean, you know, that's the perception of comics. But then you look at something like the Amazon Top 50 graphic novels, as me and Ian have been doing for the past few weeks, and it's hilarious, because how many of them are superhero books? Like 3 out of 50.
Yeah.
The rest of it is Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dark Tower,
Pilgrim.
Hitalia,
Yeah.
you know.
Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim. So, like, there's definitely a sea change going on, but we haven't quite caught up. And Wizard's definitely behind the curve because you go to, like, Big Apple. I didn't see any dealers of, like, independently published stuff or, like, stuff for kids or just, like the nonfiction stuff that I've been writing about on my blog. I didn't see any of that. It was all, like, here's Wizard's top 10 hot artist of 1995.
Reunited.
Rob Liefeld and his veins. Yay.
I'm not even kidding with that because it was like, you look, it was Joe Mad, of course Rob Liefeld, there was Billy Tucci. I mean, really? Really?
Reunited and it feels so
If it
good.
wasn't so lazy, I would open up those boxes and find a Wizard from 1995 and compare the list.
Oh God. Well, and that, and you know, not even like when compared to last year, where they had guys like Avatar, you know, actually having booths and stuff like that. They couldn't do that this year because they're all waiting for New York Comic Con.
There was a Nintendo booth last year. Remember
Yes, there
that?
was a Nintendo booth last year,
Where
and
will we
this
put
time
Nintendo?
there were Nintendo emulators.
That made you so sad, Ian.
Yes, it
Ian's
did make me
very
very
angry at
sad.
this.
Yes, I am.
Okay, I think
All
I
right,
can do
I'll leave her be. Pimp your blog.
No, I'm not pimping the blog. I'm just going back to the living room.
Nonfictioncomics.net. Okay, for those of you who, yes, it's my blog too. For those who didn't hear me say that, nonfictioncomics.net. Go back into the living room now. Bye, Chris. I will be going to bed soon. Yes, indeed. All right, that's that for this. I think you got any final thoughts, man?
Blue
Blue Hawaii.
Hawaii boo. If I want to pit myself up one last time,
Yeah, go ahead, dude.
strangersdoorcomics.com.
Mm-hmm.
Three strangers, me and my other friend from Fresno, California, meet up every week and we talk about TV, movies, almost like the same things you hear on Ian's show, but just a lot of cursing and a lot more ethnic jokes going back and forth.
Yeah, because it's not like you ever hear anything like that here.
Yeah. And if I could recommend something,
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
find issues 1 through 4 of Darkwing Duck.
I just ordered this past month, actually, the trade.
Oh, it's coming out on trade.
Yeah, man.
I went crazy for like 8 different shops and vendors trying to find them.
Ah, man. Yeah. Nah. It was solicited on DCBS this last month. Yeah.
It is amazing.
I can't wait for it. I mean, it's my childhood right there.
I am the long goodbye that just gets a little awkward.
Well-
I am Gable.
I am the terror that flaps in the night. Well, I was happy to finally get that second trade of Gargoyles, which collects the issues that were never released.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's available on Amazon. I mean, it's
Is this
actually
a Boom Studios thing?
no. This isn't Boom. This is
When it was like the Disney line?
no. Not yeah. Well, it wasn't even the Disney one. It was just a company that happened to have the license for Gargoyles. The reason that it never came out in singles was because the price for having the license for a Disney property went up, and they could no longer afford it. So I think it's SIG. I think.
I don't even remember SAG.
Well, these titles were actually written by technically titles written by Greg Weisman himself. So this is actual in canon for what technically, like, if the Goliath Chronicles never happened, this is that season.
Wow, you know what? You better hide that from me.
Dude, just when you actually have money again, just go on Amazon. It's like less than $10.
But you know I'm Puerto Rican. I gotta steal.
Yes, I know you're Puerto Rican and have to steal because it's in your nature.
Yes.
All right, well, dude,
Cheap.
definitely thanks for joining us here, man. It's been a
Thanks
while.
for having me on, man.
Glad to have you back on. We'll see you in New York, and make sure to make your presence known at least once during the weekend.
Oh yeah. Hopefully I won't break my back this year.
Yeah, I guess. Well, if you wind up going to any panels that I don't, and you want to talk about it on the show, just hop by the booth and we'll chat about it.
No problem. Will do.
All right, man. And once again, nycomiccon.com or newyorkcomiccon.com, either one of them will work. We're less than 48 hours away as I record this episode, so we'll be about 24 hours away from the bigness pretty damn soon. So make sure to get your tickets for newyorkcomiccon.com and stop by on Friday for the podcasting panel. Listen to the earlier part of the show to hear it again. I ain't repeating it, but it's 6:30 on Friday in, I think, 1A15 is what I said. So, yeah, look for that. And, of course, stop by our booth at the con. Chat us up. Let us know you listen. Really cool to hear from you, and you might even wind up on the show. If you do that, we're booth 524 in the podcast arena. Raging Bullets is going to be there. Comic Geek Speak is going to be there. Comic News Exciter is going to be there. And a bunch of other great podcasts. And the 11 O'Clock Comics guys are going to be walking around. Gabe's going to be walking around. Ziggo's going to be walking around. Daryl's going to be walking around. Really, I mean, like, there's so many great people to hang out with and talk to at this con that I can't possibly name them all. But I can't wait to actually experience it again. And 2 days isn't going to be enough, man. I'm just going to be like jonesing for it come Sunday.
The craziest thing is I have met so many good long-term friends through comic book conventions, whether it be Danny Fickle, Javier. Like, I interviewed Art Baltasar and Matt Franco from Tiny Titans like 2 years ago, and they still remembered me last year when I went up to see them.
That's fantastic.
Like, you meet people here, and not just the creators, but like, you'll be surprised how many long-term friends you can meet at a convention.
Dude, come on. Jamal Eichel knows me by name.
Yeah, but I didn't meet him on convention. You did, right?
I met him at a convention first, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to know him a little bit via the boards and stuff, but I got to know him a lot more from an actual convention, scenario than anything else. And that was great. Freddie too. I mean, Freddie Williams, I really got to know mainly from cons more than anything.
Look at us name dropping.
But beyond the creators, beyond everybody else, just have yourself a damn good time at this convention. It's totally worth it, and you guys are gonna have a wonderful experience. And well, yeah, that's all I can really say about it. We're sponsored by DCB Service, DiscountComicBookService.com. I just screwed that up. We're sponsored by Discount Comic Book Service, DCBService.com. That's better. Make sure to use promo code CT8, 8% off on your first order with DCBS, and it will make us very happy if you do that. Doc Macabre, number 1, 50% off for $1.99 this month. We've got Green Lantern Larfleet's Christmas Special, number 1, at 50% off for $1.99. I see a trend here. And Heroes for Hire, number 1, is as well also discounted this month for 50% off.
You better get the
$1.99.
Larfleets before he goes and buys them all for himself.
No, that's mine. That's mine. He can't have it. It's mine.
No, y'all gonna fight over who it is.
Oh, go to DCBService.com. Have a great ordering experience, and you will definitely have that experience at DCB Service. I will give you that much information. Once again, Gabe, thanks, man.
Thank you, boss.
All right, and the email address for Comic Timing is comictiming@gmail.com. Don't forget to check out the forums over at comicforums.com. Graciously hosted by Comic Geek Speak guys over at comicgeekspeak.com. We're proud members of the Comics Podcast Network over at comicspodcast.com and the League of Comic Book Podcasts over at comicbooknoise.com/league. Please send us your iTunes reviews on iTunes. That is always appreciated. Negative or positive, I don't care. Just tell us what you think. Big Jim Dietz sent us an email that will be read on the next episode of the show after New York Comic Con, once Brent is back on. So hang tight, Jim. We will get to your comments on the Watchmen episode that we just had. So hang tight indeed. And that is that. So for Gabe, for the missing Brent Cassina, who will be back after the New York Comic Con episodes, I am Ian Leatherstein, hoping to see everybody at New York Comic Con. And as always, there's always time for comics.
Holla.
Word.
Like a badge or a medal or something?
I don't know if I should give you a badge or a medal or if I should shame you, one or the other.
A badge of shame.
There you go.
All right, this ended up being more than an hour, didn't it?
Yo, no shit.
Oh, happy days, oh, happy days, Jesus came. Oh, my bad.
Were you able to hear Chris all right when she was on? Because
Yeah.
we were going back and forth on the mic a little bit. So.
Yeah, I heard you. I didn't know that you couldn't hear me while I was talking to her.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, and I don't know how it's going to turn out on the episode itself, but we'll see. Whatever, I'll keep it in. All right, brother. I gotta go to bed. I got work tomorrow, and then we're actually picking up Adam and Comfort at the airport at 7:20.